What I would tell someone who wants to enter the early learning field would be to find your why. Our field is constantly changing, and it does require us to engage in reflective practice, which can be quite uncomfortable at times. It requires us to have multiple perspectives, being open-minded, and it also requires us to commit to lifelong learning. And I think it's important that once you find your why, on tough days, you need to remember your why. I think for me, the most rewarding part of being an ECE is seeing the impact that you have directly on the children and families. When you walk into a classroom in the morning and you're greeted with all the hugs and the excitement of, "Hi, Miss Casey," and all the big smiles. Another thing is being a safe person for the children when they're unregulated. I think I'm most proud of being able to build relationships with children and families. So my program has an open door policy. Families are able to come in at any point, and I think this allows me to really build connections with them, understand who they are, which then in turn allows me to respond to them. So I think back to a young mom who had been living at a shelter and she needed a place for her child to attend. So by having access to accessible and affordable childcare, she was able to put her child in my program, which allowed her to re-enter the workforce. And I remember one day she stopped in my office on the way to pick up her child, and she said that it wasn't just about re-entering the workforce, but about building confidence. For me, high quality childcare really means understanding the children for who they are and having educators who are responsive to their individual needs.